Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The latest from Cairo News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery in for Manufacture. A partial government shutdown continues after Congress failed to reach a deal on funding for the Department of Homeland Security. CBS's Natalie Brand at the White House has more on the impasse.
We do know from talking to Republican lawmakers that sticking points have been specifically around tightening rules on warrants and blocking federal agents from wearing masks.
Democrats demanded those reforms to ICE after federal officers fatally shot 2 protesters in Minneapolis last month. A man detained by ICE in an arrest that made national headlines has now been released. Wilmer Toledo Martinez says a man dressed as a construction worker knocked on his door in Vancouver last November, claiming to have hit his car. When he went out to the car, though, agents released a dog that had been hiding out of sight with a handler. That was an ICE arrest. Video caught the aftermath, with agents telling Toledo Martinez's wife to back up or, quote, he's going to get bit again. Photos showed him with deep cuts to his arm and back. The arrest drew the attention of Senator Patty Murray, who said the dog was unnecessary. Toledo Martinez's attorney tells the Seattle Times he is undocumented and was brought to the U.S. as a teenager. He has no criminal record in Washington, though, but was arrested on investigation of a misdemeanor years ago in Oregon. The legal case for immigration and detention continues. Savannah Guthrie says she still has hope and is issuing a new plea for her mother's abductor to do the right thing as the investigation into her disappearance stretches into a 3rd week. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
we still have hope.
In a new video, Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie made this plea to whoever is holding her mother.
It is never too late to do the right thing.
Police believe Nancy Guthrie was taken from her home on February 1st. The FBI says a black bug found near her Arizona home is being tested for DNA, and that it matches the gloves seen worn by the suspect in doorbell camera footage. We've got to find that guy. Somebody authorities are asking for the public's help to find the suspect, who they believe is male, 5'9" or 5'10" tall, and average build.
The FBI is now offering a $100,000 reward for information that leads to either the location of Nancy Guthrie or to the suspect. You usually see the list of the best, but here's a list of new cars you'll want to avoid.
The annual auto issue from Consumer Reports lists 8 new vehicles its advisors say shouldn't be on your shopping list. The Toyota Sequoia in the large SUV category is described as having clumsy handling, a cargo space that's surprisingly limited, and an interior that's too basic for a vehicle that can cost more than $84,000. Consumer Reports says the Honda Prologue in the electric SUV category has poor visibility, subpar reliability. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
The magazine says, unlike other Hondas, the Prologue is mostly manufactured using General Motor parts. Also on the Consumer Reports list of vehicles to avoid, the Volvo XC40, the GMC Acadia, the Volkswagen Jetta, the Mercedes-Benz CLA, the Ram 1500, and the Jeep Gladiator. That's a good segue to Chris Sullivan, who's been watching traffic for us. How are we doing at 7:33?
$84,000?
That's a lot of money. The car prices have been going up.
If anybody's interested, Tommy, I'm not sure if Tommy's selling his 2001 Mercury Mountaineer with almost 300K.
2001, and I thought my 2011 was old.
Yeah, as he calls it, the goat wagon made it back and forth from Montana. I don't know how it made that trip. We're definitely Monday light out there. President's Day is great for our drive. Even through the Renton S-curves where we had that earlier crash there up by the VMAC, we're back under 20 minutes from Renton to Bellevue, which is great. Valley Freeway only 35. We're picking up a little bit of action on northbound I-5 right around the West Seattle Bridge. Too bad. There could be something in the southbound direction there I'm checking into, but only 35 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. That's the same number we have from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Lake bridges are quiet. Cairo News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
We are going to stay chilly today, a high of just 44 degrees. afternoon showers moving in starting at about noon, but they will be spotty. The real rain and wintry mix moves in tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday with highs in the low to mid 40s each day. It's 34 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. This is Cairo News Radio.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is Cairo News Radio.
In today's 7:35 a.m. commentary, Charlie Harder is out this week, but he left us all with something to look out for as the state legislative session enters its second half. It surrounds possible amendments to the Keeping Families Together Act. Here's Charlie.
The intent was good when it passed a few years back. Stop removing kids from homes over poverty, over dirty dishes, over a parent who's struggling but trying. But cops and caseworkers have taken it to an absurd extreme. A child can test positive for fentanyl, and if the parents promise to do better, the child goes home. Standard for removal is imminent physical harm. In practice, that means almost nothing qualifies. Republican Representative Travis Couture spelled out what the consequences of this are in a hearing this week.
2 summers ago, 3 babies overdosed in the same day in Everett. Not related to the same family, all 3 different families, all in the same day in Everett, they overdosed. 1 died because they were not able to revive it. 2 were revived at Seattle Children's Hospital. And the very next day, they sent those 2 babies back to the home where there was fentanyl abuse. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. And the idea that if we just lower services down a rope into a dark hole, that all of a sudden the child is safe, they're not.
And that's what the current system allows. HB 2497, the bill Olympia is, parents need better lawyers. Parents need better lawyers. Couture's bill, HB 1092, actually fixes the problem. It's co-sponsored by Democratic Representative Mari Levin, a moderate, a pragmatist, not someone looking for a fight. If a parent is using hard drugs around a child, removal is presumed to be necessary. Not automatic, but presumed. The parent can make their case, but the burden shifts. Reunification requires 6 months of documented sobriety, not promises, proof. And that bill looks dead. This coming Tuesday, the 17th at 5 p.m. is the cutoff for bills to pass out of their chamber of origin. After that, most proposals are done for the year. I have seen this with my own eyes. I watched a 9-year-old boy live in a fentanyl tent off Aurora Avenue. His parents smoked it with him inside. His mother made the boy wait in the bushes while she turned tricks with Johns from Aurora. Rotting food, rats, bottles and bottles of urine. CPS visited, saw this. Police visited, saw this. Help was offered. It was refused by the parents, and everyone said their hands were tied. The legislature has a chance to fix this. They could move Bill 1092 forward for a House vote. After all, lawmakers from both parties have put their names on a bill that would actually do something, but leadership is letting it die anyway. They're going to pass something that sounds compassionate, but changes nothing that matters. And then they're going to go home and tell their constituents they've addressed the problems. No, children will still be in danger. Nothing substantial will be done. And then they'll wait for you to forget. Don't. That's the 735 commentary. You can always text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. And you can always leave a comment on this article at mynorthwest.com.
10 children are in the care of Child Protective Services now following a death investigation. First responders found the kids Thursday night when they were called to a medical emergency at a home near Maple Valley. Cairo 17's Jack Billieu reports.
When they got there, the woman they were supposed to help died at that home. They say they found 10 sick kids, so deputies called in Child Protective Services to get them out of there.
All the children are currently safe. They were taken to local hospitals for treatment.
A spokesperson says they found 4 families living inside with 10 children under the age of 10, including at least 1 infant. It's not yet clear how the woman died or whether she's related to any of the kids. KCSO reports the house has been at the center of numerous incidents in the past and is a known problem spot. In Maple Valley, Jack Billieu, Cairo 7 News.
The sheriff's office says no arrests were made, but it's likely criminal charges will be filed at some point. We will be following that story. It is 7:39. We are going to go to traffic.
And what's coming up in 3 minutes, Jillian? We're going to take a look. We do have a stall on southbound I-5, southbound approaching the West Seattle Bridge. So we'll talk about it coming up next.
Can Seattle and the 12s throw a party or what?
They're thinking there could be up to 1 million 12s for this parade.
We're the best in the world! Me and so many others remember taking my kid to the parade 12 years ago. And now another generation gets to share that. Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Hey, we're not done. We're coming back next year.
Cairo News Radio.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason, that would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do, and now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path, and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Place with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. And people say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal, then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurance. Not available in all states.
Let's go!
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's 7:43. Now we turn to Chris Sullivan for your traffic.
And we have a stall on southbound I-5 as you make your way towards the West Seattle Bridge coming out of downtown. And that's why we're slow from about I-90 past the scene. It's in the center lane there, and it is causing, a little bit of a backup. Maybe give yourself an extra 3 minutes through the area. A little looky-loose slowdown in the northbound direction as well. But overall, the travel time from Federal Way to Seattle is only 35 minutes. 35 is all you're going to need from Puyallup to Renton as well. The Renton S-curves are not too bad. There was a little braking past Sunset up towards 44th. We had an earlier crash up there, but only for 20 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Lake bridges are super quiet. President's Day is looking good for those of you coming out of the north end. No breaks from Arlington all the way into Seattle or into Bellevue. Away from Linwood, nothing on 405 and nothing past the forced merge in Northgate today on I-5, which is great. So we're looking at about 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. 18, 16 look really good as well. Olympia to Tacoma has no issues. Cairo News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Staying chilly today with a high of 44 degrees and afternoon showers moving in at about noon. It is 34 degrees right now outside our studios. Coming up, more on the partial government shutdown and how climate change is impacting the Winter Olympics in Milan. That is all ahead. You are listening to Cairo News Radio.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks? Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Loved.
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking? Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere, and if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, installation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Good morning, it's 7:47, and we have been tracking the partial government shutdown, which is in its third day. It's now the third shutdown of President Donald Trump's current term. CBS News' Willie James Inman has the latest from West Palm Beach, Florida.
TSA agents will be among the thousands of essential workers required to continue working without pay after government funding for DHS lapsed early Saturday.
I've seen a lot of people that have been working for TSA for 22, 23 years already, and they've seen so many of these shutdowns.
Robert Echeverria has worked for the TSA for nearly a decade.
You know, the last shutdown, a lot of my peers couldn't go through that, and we had a lot of people quit because they couldn't go through the struggle and trying to figure out where they were going to get the next paycheck from.
Both parties have been negotiating reforms to ICE and CBP for weeks, but have failed to reach an agreement. Among the Democrats' demands, immigration officers would be banned from wearing face coverings, required to display ID, and wear body cameras.
Unfortunately, it appears that Democrats are barreling our government towards another shutdown for political and partisan reasons. The White House has been very much engaged with Democrats in serious discussions and negotiations over